a tutorial on my apple pie turtle. The materials you will need are knitting needles. This is just going to help hold the head in place when you're sewing on the head to the body. A hot glue gun, a yarn needle, scissors, 15 or 18 millimeter eyes, depending on how you like the eyes to look. Scissors. Did I already say scissors? If so, disregard. A 4 millimeter crochet hook, and the colors you will need: off-white, tan. I get most of my yarn from Hobby Lobby. Baby Be Adorable. Green, pink, black, red, dark brown for the stem, and a lighter brown for the little lines on top of the pie. You will also need stuffing. I use polyfill. You can use like stuffing from a pillow, whatever works for you. Knowledge that you will already need to know while crocheting this turtle. You'll need to know how to do a magic circle, a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and a slip stitch. We are first going to start with a crocheted leaf. You'll get your green yarn and start with a slip knot. After that, you will chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the second chain from hook, you will do a single crochet. In the second stitch, a half double crochet. After that, a double crochet. After that, a half double crochet. And in the last stitch of this row, you will do 3 single crochets in the same stitch. Now that we did that, we are on the other side of the leaf, and now we are going to do a half double crochet. We are crocheting over the tail, so we won't have to sew it in later. After the half double, we are going to do a double, back down to a half double in the next stitch, and a single. And now we are going to get your hook, put it through the first chain of the other side, and do a single crochet. Now you can get your scissors, cut the yarn, and slip stitch through. And if you decided to crochet over your tail, you can simply cut it because it won't unravel. But we are about to start the stem. What I would recommend for the stem, I would recommend to downsize your hook. So I'm going to use a 2.5. You can use a 3 or 3.5, just so the stem won't be so big on the head of the turtle. Next, we are going to do the stem. I would advise you to downsize to a 2.5 or at least a 3 millimeters, so the stem won't be big and it will be proportionate to the size of the head. We will start with a magic circle. And you will chain 1. You will put 4 single crochets in the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. You will pull your tail so the circle can close. You will slip stitch in the chain 1 space. Now round 1 is done. Chain 1 to start round 2. You chain 1 to start every round. You will put single crochets in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, slip stitch, chain 1. For round 3, you are going to do 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you are going to slip stitch into the chain 1. You see it's starting to curve inward. You can flip it right side out, and you need 1 more row of single crochets. So the last row, which is the 4th row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will slip stitch into the chain 1 space, and now you have your stem. I like my stem on the shorter side, but if you would like your stem a little longer, you can just add another row of single crochets. Now after you're done, you are going to cut the yarn. Make sure you leave a long tail and slip stitch, and you can just cut the yarn inside, and now your stem is complete. Next, we are going to start the shell. So you'll go back up to your 4mm crochet hook and get your tan. We will start out with a magic circle. You would chain 1 and pull your yarn a little bit. You will put 11 single crochets in your magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Continue to pull the tail so the circle closes all the way up, and you will slip stitch in your chain 1 space. Row 2, you will do a chain 1, and we are increasing this whole row. For the first round, we had 11 single crochets. In the second round, we should have 22. You're gonna go back in the same stitch you did the chain 1 and do a single crochet. You will put 2 single crochets in every stitch around, and you will end with 22 stitches. At the end of row 2, I'm just gonna slip stitch into the chain 1 space. For row 3, we will chain 1. And the pattern is increase single around the whole row. So we will put a single crochet in the chain 1, which will be our first increase, and put a single in the next stitch. Increase, single. After the single, we put 2 singles in 1 stitch and a single in the next. 2 singles, single around the whole at the end of round 3, and I ended off with a single. So all I am going to do is slip stitch in the chain 1 space. To start row 4, you'll do a chain 1 and put a single crochet in the chain 1 space. This will be your increase. You'll do 3 singles after the increase. 1, 2, 3, and then you would do an increase. So the pattern is increase, 3 singles, increase around the whole round. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, increase. And you will do that around the whole row. Row 4, and I ended on my third single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 1. For rounds 5 through 8, you will chain 1, single crochet in the chain 1 space, and single crochet in every stitch around. At the end, you will have 40 single crochets each round, and you will do this 4 rounds. I'm at the end of row 8, and I'm going to slip stitch in the chain 1, and then you are going to chain 1 to start row 9. For row 9, you are only going to single crochet in the front loop only. So instead of crocheting through both, you are only going to crochet through the front one. And you are just going to do single crochets all the way around, only in the front loop, and you should still be at 40 single crochets at the end of the round. I'm currently at the end of row 9, and I'm just going to slip stitch in the chain 1 front loop only, get my scissors, and slip stitch through. And what I do, I turn it around and I pull the yarn in. As you can see, since we only crocheted in the front loop only, you can still see that ridge, and that's the back loop only. So in row 10, that's what we're going to be crocheting. Row 10, I'm going to be switching to red for the bottom of the shell. For example, this is a medium apple pie turtle I've made, and this is the bottom, and this is the top. But I've also made apple pie turtles with the bottom being the same color as the shell. It's just whatever you would like to do, but I'm going to do red. So you get your red yarn and do a slip knot. Get your 4mm crochet hook. Fold the piece back a little bit, and you can go into any back loop only stitch and start your single crochet. You will single crochet only in the back loops. And after you're done, you should still have 40 single crochets. I am at the end of row 10, and I'm going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space. I'm going to chain 1 to start row 11. Row 11 is a little tricky because in this row we are going to make the fin holes and the little tail hole. After you chain 1, we are going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. We are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into the 4th stitch. Now we are going to do 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2, 1, 2. Skip 2 stitches, single crochet into the 3rd. 2 single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2. Skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the 2nd. 2 single crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2. Skip 2 stitches, single crochet into the 3rd. Now we're back at our 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into the 4th. And then do 1, 2, 3 single crochets and slip stitch in the chain 1 space. Row 12 is a decrease row. So we are going to chain 1, and we are going to do a invisible decrease. So we're going to get the front loop of 1, a front loop of the one right beside it, and do a single crochet. What I just did was an invisible decrease. And now we're just going to do 3 singles. 1, 2, 3. And now we're doing another decrease. Front loop of 1, front loop of another, single crochet. So we're going to do this the whole row. So we're going to do 3 singles and a decrease. One more time. 3 singles, 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. End of row 13, you are going to slip stitch into the chain 1, and now you are going to get your stuffing and you are going to stuff the shell. I like to stuff mine a little more than usual because just in case like this is gifted to a baby, if they sit on it or play with it a lot, it won't go flat. Now, for row 14, you'll chain 1, and we are just decreasing this whole row. So decrease, decrease, decrease. We are currently at the end of row 14. You are going to slip stitch into the chain 1 and continue only decreases until we get to the end. I am at the end of row 15. I'm going to cut my yarn and leave a long tail and do single crochets and pull through and just weave the red yarn through there. And now you can cut the yarn. And now the bottom of the shell is complete. We are about to do the ruffles all the way around from here to here. For example, so you will get your tan that you used for the shell and do a slip knot. You will crochet on the front loop only, and you will go to a stitch close to where the first front fin hole starts. And you will do a single crochet. And you will put 3 more single crochets in that same stitch. And now you will put 4 single crochets in every stitch, and this will cause it to ruffle. One, 2, 3, 4. And you will continue all the way around until you get to the beginning, a little bit before the other front fin hole. I'm done with the ruffles. I am going to get my scissors, cut the yarn, do a slip stitch, just bring the yarn through the back loop only and just bring it into the shell, just like so. And same with the other side. Just bring it inside the shell and tuck it in. And now, right here, this is where the head is going to be. We are about to start the fins now. The bigger fins go into the front, and the smaller fins go into the back. To start your back fin, you'll do a magic circle. And chain 1. And you will put 11 single crochets in the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now you'll pull your tail so the magic circle can close all the way up. Now you will slip stitch in the chain 1 spot. For round 2, you will chain 1, and this is going to be an increase row, so you will have 22 single crochets in this row. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. And you will slip stitch in your chain 1. And now you'll get your scissors, cut, slip stitch through. Make sure your magic circle is closed up. Cut the tail in the middle. And I just bring the long tail inside and also cut that as well. And you will do this 2 times. Now that I have both of my back white fins complete, I will get some red yarn and do a slip knot. I will get one of the back fins and fold it in half. Get my 4mm crochet hook and go through both sides and single crochet. And you will single crochet around the whole fin. So I did 9 single crochets together. This is the back and this is the front. You will cut the yarn, leave a long tail, and slip stitch through. This tail is the tail where you are going to sew it to the body. In this tail, you will just weave in, just like so. And you can cut. So this is the right fin. And now we are about to work on the left fin. So for the left fin, it's going to be a little different. When you do your slip knot, you will leave a long tail at the beginning instead of the end. So do a slip knot. And you will do the exact same thing you did with the right leg, with the right fin. You'll do 9 single crochets together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sometimes you have to add an extra one just in case it doesn't go all the way down. Now you can cut a short tail at the end, slip stitch off, turn it around, weave the yarn through, and now you can cut. And now you have your left fin. So both right sides are good. So now we have both of the back fins complete. Now we will work on the front fins. Now we are about to start the front fins. The front fins are a row bigger than the back fins. You'll start with a magic circle. Chain 1 and put 11 single crochets in the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You'll pull the tail to close the circle, and you will slip stitch in the chain 1. For round 2, you will chain 1, and we are going to do an increase row, which will be 2 single crochets in each stitch. So we have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Slip stitch in the chain 1, chain 1 to start row 3. A single in the chain 1 spot, that will be an increase. 1 single crochet, increase. And this is the whole pattern. 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, increase, one, increase. Then you will slip stitch in your chain 1, cut your yarn, doesn't have to be a long tail, slip stitch. I like to pull my yarn through and cut this yarn. The front fins will be the same as the back fins, the way we are going to do them. So this time I'm going to start with the left fin. You will make a slip knot, but make sure the tail is really long. You will get one fin, fold it in half, and crochet it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we're going to get our scissors, and this time you don't have to leave a long tail for the left fin because we already left a long tail at the beginning. We're going to slip stitch, turn it around, and weave it through. Just like so. And now you can just cut that red. And now we have a front left fin. Here is a size difference between the back fin and the front fin. Now we're going to do it a little different with the right fin. So you are going to do a slip knot, but you don't have to make the tail long in the beginning. But you do have to keep the tail long in the end. So we crochet it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now you are going to cut and make sure that you leave a long tail and slip stitch. And now we have the left and right fins, and you are going to turn it over and weave the red in and cut it. Now we have both front fins and both back fins. Now we will work on the tail. We will start with a magic circle. Chain 1, 5 single crochet in the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull the tail to close up the magic circle. And slip stitch in the chain 1. Now you are going to fold this over, chain 1, and crochet both sides together. So 1, 2, 3. Leave a long tail, slip stitch, and you can cut this piece. And now the tail is complete. Now we are going to start off with the head. We are going to start with a magic circle. Chain 1 and put 11 single crochets into the magic circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pull your tail so the circle can close all the way up, and slip stitch into the chain 1 space. Chain 1 for round 2. This will be an increase row. So put a single crochet where the chain 1 is, and you will end up with 22 single crochets after this row. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Slip stitch in the chain 1 space, chain 1 to start round 3. This round will consist of an increase in a single crochet around the whole round. So we will put a single crochet in the chain 1 space. That will be your increase. 1, increase, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet. I'm at the end of round 3, and I'm going to slip stitch in the chain 1 spot. For round 4 through 8, you will just do single crochets all the way around. Chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Slip stitch and chain 1, and you repeat that row 4 more times. I am at the end of row 8, and I am going to slip stitch into the chain 1 space. Now, if you would like the head to be a little longer, you can add another row of single crochets. So I'm going to do that. So 1 more row of single crochets, but this is optional. After this row, we will do decreases. Note, if you decided not to add the extra row of single crochets for the head, you will not add the eyes on row 7 and 8. You will add the eyes on row 6 and 7. I am at the end of row 9, and I am simply just going to slip stitch to end the round. And now it's time to add the eyes. I will prefer 18mm eyes, and you will place the eyes between row 7 and row 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we are. You can either hot glue it, or if you have backs, you can go ahead and add the backs now. I'm at the end of row 9. You might be at the end of row 8 if you decided not to add an extra row. You will slip stitch, chain 1, and decrease. 2 single crochets, decrease, and do that around the whole round. 2 single crochets, decrease, 2 single crochets, decrease, 2 single crochets, decrease, 2 single crochets, I'm at the end of this round, and I will slip stitch in the chain 1 space, and now it is time to stuff the head. Stuff it to how you like it. Now we are going to start the next round. Chain 1, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, and that is a pattern all the way around. Decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet. Currently at the end of this decrease round, you will slip stitch into the chain 1 to start a new row, and you will simply decrease until closed. And I will meet you at the end. Now we are about to add the seeds into the fan. I have my yarn needle and my velvet black. You can also use acrylic black, just depending on what you prefer. I will go through the magic circle and inside of the fan and come out at an angle. As you can see, the seeds won't be shown on the back, just on the front. You will pull until the black is almost all the way inside. Now you will go back into that magic circle and go straight up. We have 1 seed. Back into the magic circle, at an angle, pull, and back into the magic circle, out on the other side. That's how you do the seeds for the back fans. This is how the back fans look. After I added the seeds, when you cut the black yarn, you will just weave it into the fan. Onto the front fans, instead of going into the magic circle like we did the back fans, we are going to start after the magic circle. And we are going through the fan, not to the back. Leave a little tail at the end. Now we have 1 seed. We have 2 seeds. And we have 3 seeds. You will cut the yarn. And weave the black through inside the fin. Same with this. And repeat on this one. Remember just to put the seeds on the front side of the fin, not the back side. We are about to do the medium brown lines on the shell. You'll get your brown and your yarn needle. Count 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. And pull until you have a little bit left right there. And go through that again. You will go through the same hole one more time and angle it to the side. And now we will turn it, count 3, 1, 2, 3. Count 1, 2, 3. Count 1, 2, 3. And now you'll get your scissors. You'll cut, get a crochet hook, and weave the brown into the shell. Get that first piece and weave the brown into the shell. And this is what the shell should look like. Now it's time to crochet the head to the body. I have the head right here and the body right here, and I have my 2 knitting needles through the head and through the body, so I know that I will sew it on correctly. I got my yarn needle and my red thread, and I did a double knot right here. Now, you are simply just going to sew the head onto the body until it's nice and secure. And now you can take the knitting needles out of the head. And you do that all the way around until you get back here. At the end of sewing the head onto the body, and we're going to cut double knot, get a crochet hook, and weave it into the body. Now the head is sewed on to the body. Have the tail right here. You get your needle and you put the yarn, the long tail you had left, and put it through the needle. You just sew it on until you don't see any stuffing and it's no holes visible. Now we are about to attach the front fins. And you will weave the red through the body. And cut the yarn. Now we are about to attach the second front fin. This is why it's important to leave a long tail, because you will use the tail to sew on the limbs at the end. And now you just weave the red through the body. And now we have both front fins attached. Now to the back fins. And now you weave the red through the body. And now we have one more fin to attach. I like to take some of the fluff off at the beginning so it's easier to put through the needle. And weave the red through the body. All the limbs are secure. And cut the red. Now we are on to the head. It's time to add the stem. The stem will be right over the magic circle, so the first round of the head. And continue all the way around. Now that the stem is all the way on, you will pull it through the head and weave the brown into the head. And now the stem is secure. Now we are about to add a leaf. You can either have the leaf on this side or this side, but I tend to put my leaf on the left side. So you're just going to get your crochet hook, go under the stem and pull the tail through, just like that. And I would advise to get a hot glue gun and glue under the leaf and a little bit on the stem. Not too much, just enough to secure the leaf. Hold that for a couple of seconds. And now that that is dry, you will weave the green into the head. Cut the yarn. And now if you would like to stop here, your apple pie turtle is completely done, but I like to add a little blush under the eyes. Now if you would like to add blush, you'll get your pink yarn and your yarn needle. Go right under the eye. You'll cut your yarn. Weave the pink through the head. And now the blush is complete. So your apple pie turtle is now complete. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial. This is the final product of the apple pie turtle. Adorable. Thank you so much for watching my tutorial. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe.